got my laces tied. My trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna talk fun, it's the place to be. Yeah, it's the drop, D-R-O-P.
Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
This is Carl with Believe in the Run.
I didn't interrupt you this time.
Nice.
Yeah. Held off. You know why? Because it's a big day. It's a big day.
Why?
I mean, it's 2 days in front of, by the time they listen to this, what is it, 2 or 3 days in front of Memorial Day? Memorial Day signals something for our audience. What does it make?
It's a big day. It is the opening of Summer Grit registration.
It's actually, in many ways, it's the beginning of summer.
It really
Just
is.
yeah. I mean, it's Memorial Day, so I don't think I'm the first.
I mean,
the first person to say that.
If you're not familiar with Grit, it's our monthly challenge. We do one in the winter, one in the summer, obviously. Mm-hmm. Which one is this, Robbie?
It's summer. July is summer. Yes,
He is correct. You would win a prize if I had one. But it's a kickoff, and it's a mileage challenge. Kind of explain how it works, Meg.
So you can register on believeintherun.com/grit, and we've set up different tiers. There's different levels. So 25, 50, am I getting these right? 100,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
150,
the 200,
200, and then 300 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And
This year's theme?
Well, the goal is to run those miles in the month of July, and just set whatever goal is good for you.
Yeah, so if you're not like crushing miles and you just want to get a 25-mile month in,
Yeah.
you can do that. You can go nuts like some people do.
Walk it, run it, do your thing.
And so each tier you hit, there's a custom badge. So each level has a theme. This one is all about ice cream dreams.
Yes. It's like the classic ice cream truck coming around the corner, stealing money out of your mom's purse to go get some soft serve.
Yeah, so the levels are mint milkshake, orange crush, rocket pop, king cone, and banana split, which
All right.
there's some controversy
All
around the
right.
final level,
We'll
but
talk. Yeah.
we'll leave it.
Look, the penultimate ice cream is a banana split.
Yeah. It's just the classic.
You can't dump more into, like, you can't do more with ice cream
It's
than
the
that.
thing your mom will always say no to when you're trying to get a treat at the ice cream stand because it's too much ice cream. It costs too much. It's ridiculous.
Just waiting for a kid to finish that, and you know they're not going to finish it.
Right.
They're going to get it all over themselves.
We also
it's a hazard.
learned from Helen on our team, who used to work at an ice cream shop, that they're a royal pain to make. So
It makes sense. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, if you dislike someone who works in an ice cream shop, just go in and order like 10 banana splits.
Yeah.
So on top of like the fun and the community that is all around Grit, when you register, you also get a custom ASICS creamsicle tank or tee.
Which is branded with Believe in the Run.
Yes, and a Believe in the Run ASICS creamsicle cap.
Well,
which-
that one doesn't. That one's just straight up ASICs.
Yeah. If you're watching the YouTube version or Spotify video, we have.
I mean, does that not look like ice cream?
Oh, it's awesome. It really does actually.
Yeah.
It's a perfect summer cap. I mean, and we have these caps already.
Yeah.
They're super nice.
And I'll say that the last year's Summer Grit caps didn't come out exactly the way we wanted them to. And
this
these
is
are a huge
sick.
upgrade. And look, what's the retail?
It's $40 brand new. Believe it or not, they're not used, except for this one. I'm gonna wear
one's
this,
gonna be you.
wear this, and then send it in someone's bag. But
It's special.
right there is basically your registration, and
Right.
and you get a sick shirt as well.
And
Yeah.
the tech shirt that's with it is around $40 too. So
50.
It's 50 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about $90 of swag for. I mean, what are we doing? What is
It's 50 bucks on day one, and I will tell you, registration sells out in hours. So
How many
Monday,
spots do we have?
Memorial Day, we cap it at around 2,500. So Memorial Day, 9 a.m. Eastern, for all of you people on the West Coast, sorry, you're going to have to get up early. 9
Catch that worm.
Eastern, registration will open, and it's first come, first serve. So we have a breakdown of men's and women's sizing based on previous registration numbers. We did the best that we can, but get in early if you want to.
And here's the other thing. We don't ship to the people outside the U.S. couple reasons. One, shipping is prohibitive, but the biggest reason is there's contests involved in this, and we can't do contest rules for every single country that would love to participate. So for you guys, we have a special treat. There's a free entry, and this can also be used if you're in the United States and you don't want the swag, but you still want to be part of the community and have part of the challenge. You can sign up for the free part, and you just don't get the swag, and you're not going to be in the contest, but everything else is available to you. The connectivity through the group runs, everything. And then if you did want to fly to the U.S. or drive from Canada down or up from Mexico, we're going to have a killer grit party on August 2nd. Again, it's going to be at Mobtown Brewery this year. We're thinking we'll keep with that theme so you can guess what's going to be happening around then.
And we'll have all those details once we get into the heart of summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So make sure you sign up for that. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're talking about this stuff, we should probably talk about Global Running Day too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have an event coming up on Global Running Day, which is that June 4th?
Yeah, the first Wednesday in June every year.
Okay.
Oh, it's 4th? Huh.
Yeah, June 4th.
I thought it was the 5th. I'm wrong.
You'd
You were
be a
mistaken.
Day late.
Yeah.
You'd be losing points. Anyway, it's here in Baltimore. We'll be running loops in Patterson Park with Charm City Run and Brooks Running, and I think FX Studios and Friends of Patterson Park. And it's a good time. Everybody comes out. We're going to have food from Cooper's and probably some beverages.
Wait,
and stuff like that.
is Cooper's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doubling up.
For real?
Yeah.
Dang.
So, and then, Robbie's bringing up another one. We're going to have
By the way, Cooper's former employee of mine.
employer.
Employer of mine.
Tiki.
Yeah.
And then the other great thing is Cooper's is coming back when we have a run with Mount to Coast with featuring their new trail shoe, the T1, that will be there to sample. We're going to be giving out some T-shirts at that run.
Yeah, that'll be June 21st, which is a Saturday.
Nice.
Burgers again.
And yeah, we'll promote all those details on social and in email and everywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's tons of stuff that you can do with us this summer if you want to.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Do you need to announce any Move Your Mind dates?
Um,
Move Her Mind. Sorry.
Move the mind.
Yeah.
Our next
Do you
stop
want to
will
talk
be
about what
in,
people are showing on their phones that Move Her Mind?
No.
Okay.
No. Our next stop will be in Minneapolis on Thursday, May 29th. And the one after that will be the following week, June 5th and 6th. There's a couple events happening in New York City, but all of those can be found on the ASICS website.
All right. Cool.
Yep. And you know what? I think we should get into one of the controversial subjects this week that popped up.
Oh, okay.
You want to take a guess at what it's going to be? It's very controversial. Got people really riled up.
Let me think. Is it related to running?
Yes.
No.
I know what he's talking about.
Oh, is it what you said to me when I walked out the door today?
Shut up and get out of here. No, it's not that. It's
Before you said that.
yes. Yeah.
I don't even know what it would be.
All right. So somebody on Thread said, if you listen to music when you run, you don't love running, you love distraction.
Oh, I think I did see this, but I just ignored it because it was a dumb take.
As every person who's normal does.
But some people got really fired up. It had like 4,000 comments.
4,000?
Yeah, something ridiculous. Like it's the top trending running story of last week. And I'm like,
Wait,
first
real?
off, I really don't care. Like if you're like, oh, you need to do this to be a runner or something, I'd be like, whatever. You know, who
Like,
cares?
if you're getting that riled up about that comment, what is happening in your life?
So hold on.
People are passionate about their music.
Repeat the comment. The person was saying, if you listen to music, you're not loving running.
You
you're
don't
being
love
distracted.
running, you love distraction. And I'm kind of like, well, what if you're a dancer?
I'd say
Do you not love dancing because you listen to music while you do it?
You're weird if you don't listen to music while
Right.
you're dancing.
Exactly.
it doesn't even make.
I think there's a place for it. I don't like running with headphones during races because I'm like, that's a community event.
Right.
And I kind of feel like you need to be listening to the people around you and that kind of stuff. I will say though, like with those Bose open ears, I would maybe, because I do get such a lift.
Yeah. I don't. Well, I think we talked about this before. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't listen to music on anything while I'm running, but for the first like training cycle that I did when I first started running, I did. I had a certain playlist that I played while I was running, and I think for the first couple of half marathons, I did listen to music. But then ever since then, I just soon after that I stopped. For probably the last 8 years, I haven't listened to anything.
I think it just really depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing a group run, I don't bring headphones. If I'm doing a race, I don't wear headphones.
But they've had studies that prove
That you get
listening
benefit.
to music can enhance performance so you can run faster and longer.
Oh, I believe that.
I do believe that because,
So what's that guy talking about?
well, he's somebody. Why are you judging people anyway? Like if somebody's going to get out the
dude,
door and run, what do you
it's-
care if they got headphones
It's
on?
threads. It's what it's
Dude,
there
it's
for.
rage
Yeah.
bait. It's rage bait.
Yeah, it
they
is.
want you to talk about it. They want the
Look,
interaction.
we're talking about it. He's
Yeah, we're
getting
talking
his
about it on
way.
the podcast. It's
Yeah,
rage bait.
he's
It's working.
winning.
Yeah, but we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
No, I didn't.
Gerald from Indiana.
Yeah.
Gerald.
If
I doesn't even run.
His running handle is probably like running with G.
Yeah. I am also hating these Instagram, what your running shoe says you are.
I haven't seen that thing.
They'll be
I
like,
don't know
if
what
you
that
run
is.
in Brooks, you're going to the mall. Or, they do all
They're
that.
not wrong.
Maybe I am going to the mall.
Yeah. What do you get at the mall, Carl?
I don't know. I actually don't go to the mall.
I was going to
very
say,
often.
when's the last time you went to the mall?
When is the
I
last
went to the mall recently.
Why?
Like within the last 6 months.
when I went to Cheesecake Factory. That
Oh, there you go.
specifically.
Solid.
Apple stores. There.
I was literally just going to say the Apple Store. I got
Apple
my
Store.
iPhone.
Like, if anything, malls should be paying Apple stores to be in them.
For real.
Maybe they are.
Yeah,
Maybe that's their thing.
Maybe they get. It's like a tax incentive financing or whatever.
It's like the whole place is empty except for you get to the Apple store.
But then there are. It's weird because there are malls that are doing exceptionally well still, like Arundel Mills or King of Prussia.
All right.
Like
So they just were talking to Danny McBride. You know who that is, right?
On the Theo Vaughn podcast or
No, this is just a general. I
Oh,
just
okay.
read it like a clip, and he said the problem with movie theaters is they're trash. They smell bad. They're dirty.
Yeah, that's why I
the
never want to
screens
go.
are not
for
good.
sure.
The sound systems can be a bum. He goes, it's not the movie industry. It's the actual environment that you have to go to watch the movie. People would rather just wait and watch it.
I
at
agree with
home.
that 1,000%.
So that's my thing. That's a huge opportunity. If you could make nice viewing.
There are some. Harbor East is nice. That's pretty nice. No,
It's
Yeah.
just very crowd dependent too, like who you get the audience
The
with.
screens.
Anywhere
Or
that's
smaller.
like really dark all the time, it's dirty in there. Like it's.
I mean you're right.
There's
You're right,
stuff
but-
everywhere.
Well, so when the movie's off, they should be like, "Pap."
yeah,
and
let's
bright
show me.
lights.
Yeah, show me what's that actually looks like. But they don't ever do
And
that.
have Mrs. Doubtfire coming by with a feather duster.
Hello.
Yeah. They should do that. They should have maids or matron. What's a male
Matrices?
version of a maid? Maiden? No, that's not right.
I don't.
that's a good
I don't
thing.
think there is
Raiden.
a difference. Do they call them something different?
It's not
Male
butler,
maid?
is it?
Oh, maybe it is a butler.
Yeah, but a butler doesn't help with cleaning usually.
Man maid? Man maiden?
Man made.
Oh my gosh, a manservant
Oh, there you go.
Manservant.
Merman.
or butler
But okay.
Aha.
or simply a servant.
Yeah.
Manservant. I like that.
Anyways, they should have those at movie theaters.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come around with a silver tray of
I don't know what would make the experience better. Like, what could you
A
do?
clean environment.
I get the clean environment, but then what? Because here's the
if
other
anyone
thing.
talks, kick them out immediately. If
Yeah.
anyone's on the
Honestly,
phone,
yes,
kick
it's
them out
audience.
immediately.
For me, it's audience dependent.
So you think we need to have like an etiquette?
Yeah.
The etiquette
Okay.
is horrible in theaters these days.
And that went out the window after the pandemic.
Yeah,
too.
it's
That
just
was the nail in
gone.
the
So do you,
coffin.
Dude,
think we need it for airplanes as well?
Yes.
Like maybe there's like if this is your first time flying, here's how it works. You get.
They should have
when
to go
the
through
plane
school, like a plane
course.
school if
Certified?
it's your first time.
like driver's education,
Yeah.
but for
Oh, that would be
movies.
amazing. Imagine if you have a child.
Well, wasn't that
Pick
the
up
whole?
the Cheerios after you pepper the floor with them.
But that was the
Yeah.
whole thing with the Minecraft movie is that kids
Oh,
were
dude,
encouraged to create chaos.
During that one part of the movie, I think,
Yeah.
and everyone's throwing popcorn and like just making
oh, I
full-on
saw
mess.
headlines about that and I didn't understand.
So my kids went to see this with my sister and her kid, and then he's in Pennsylvania, so some of his friends and parents came. So during that scene, his friends and stuff just started throwing things everywhere, like popcorn, food.
So
So my sister like made them clean up the theater after the movie because she was like, "This is ridiculous," which you should have to do. But just the fact that that was a trend is crazy.
Well, here's the thing that hurts about that. You wouldn't allow that to happen in your house. And there's people at the theater that for some reason when you're doing that, what you're saying is, this is their problem.
Right.
And it's so disrespectful to the people working there. And
It really is.
and
It's just
that-
common sense, too. It's like that's like base level humanity.
Well, that's when we were on the airplane. We see these families that take up a row and they just like destroy the row. Like, and you see them get up and they're just leaving garbage and food and stuff all over the floor.
Yeah, it's like that nest that was in that one X-Files episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. That's what I
So-
always think of.
This is reference from forever ago.
Look up X-Files nest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Just look that up.
And I know that there's a quasi running
See it coming.
podcast, but I
Ugh.
do.
Right?
Wait, what is this?
Sorry, Thomas, for cutting you off.
It's like a hand coming through something.
Oh yeah, he had thin fingers that would come through an air vent.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Is it? Oh, okay, yeah. What was his name? Ernest or something?
Unsure.
Not Ernest Goes to Camp. That's a different thing.
Hey, Vern.
Anyways, I think it was like a very famous early X-Files episode.
Sure.
What was that reference to again? What are we talking about?
Oh, the nest. Sorry, Thomas. Not to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's fine. We just when we were getting off the plane one time and this has happened actually a few times. We'll see like a family get on, and they'll usually pack a 3-row section with 5 people.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then they have the bags of food that they bring on for the kids. And we just saw like this one. They were like leaving the plane and they were just getting their bags and moving off. And I looked down. There's like garbage all over the place.
Yeah.
Food all over the floor. Like just totally. Like no concern for the person that's going to have to clean up after this family, and I just couldn't believe
Yeah.
that this was what it was going on. But
And I had to sift through all of that to find what was valuable and what wasn't.
you did get some gummy worms.
There were
out of
some
that.
unopened water bottles in there.
But it's bad. And the more we travel, and we've been traveling a lot, the worse I think it's gotten on planes. Like, I really do think there should be like some education. Maybe there should be a video playing as people are waiting in line to get on the plane. But like, how to depart the plane? Don't jump up and start blocking the aisle. You know, don't rush the front.
Yeah, we can't talk about it. No, I literally go on forever. There's like, no.
There was a guy on I'll just have to tell this one story,
Okay.
but there was a guy on my last flight who pretended like he had to use the bathroom and came from like all the way in the back when we landed and then just waited at the front and got off the plane first.
And what do you get?
That's what I don't
And he tried, but he
understand.
tried to bring his whole family with him too, and they like got separated and like blocked off,
no,
and people
nice.
were getting mad.
I'm putting an elbow right into that kid's face.
Yeah.
Dude, you start throwing your bag in the aisle.
That's a pro move.
Yeah, just boom. Oh, where are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me throw my leg out here.
So
Anyway.
if you're listening to this and you do that, just be aware
We're watching
We're
you.
gonna kneecap you.
If you're sitting on the plane
You're gonna get Tanya Harding.
and you're looking towards the front of the plane, left side gets off first, then the right side. Help people down with their bags. You know, let's all do this together.
Yeah.
Smooth and efficient.
That's a perfect world scenario.
Just imagine
man.
crashing
That's
with-
daydreaming right there.
Yeah,
That's
just
never gonna
imagine getting into a law situation with those people.
happen. Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Man, and turn into a cannibal real quick.
Some sad news happened this week.
Really?
Yeah.
You're bringing up controversial stuff now, sad stuff.
Yeah.
get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A 31-year-old runner passed away during
Yeah, I
the
saw that.
Brooklyn Marathon.
Half.
Oh, really?
Half, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think that happened also 2-3 years ago. Another 30-year-old guy.
I think it was 2 people.
Yeah.
These are just people that have underlying heart conditions that are undiagnosed, and it's just like unfortunate.
time
And it's
bomb.
always like
Yeah.
the worst weather at this time of year too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that race is tough because you start off going through the park, so you have a little bit of shade, but once you hit that highway that goes all the way out,
Yeah, it's warm.
you're exposed.
Yeah, after probably the first warm race of the year for a lot of people.
Yeah. It was
So that was it at the finish or where? was
no,
it?
Mile 8.
yeah, mile 8.
Wow.
And apparently a lot of spectators were saying people were looking really rough at like 10.
Yeah.
I believe that.
You know, it is tough because you come out and you train for races, and you could come out on a day where it's hot, and maybe you're like, I don't care. I'm not taking my foot off the pedal. I'm going to go as hard as I can. There could be a lot of reasons, but it's just so tough in hot weather, and you don't know how your body's going to react when you're out there. But my heart goes out to
it's tough.
his family and stuff. But he looked like a promising young man.
Man, yeah, that's difficult. Well, all right.
Yeah, sorry I brought that to a screeching halt, Meg. Why don't you talk about something funny?
Okay, so last week I went for a run in the new Evo 2s, and it happened to have rained for the past 3 days here. What a mistake that was.
I told you.
Yeah.
That traction, I think, got worse.
Oh, really?
I almost ate
So
it
bad.
so many times. Like,
so
I had
bad.
to stop and walk several times.
However, when it's dry, it works really well.
Yeah, I did. I wore them again this morning, and no issues because, again, it's dry outside. But, man, like, it was crazy how many times I almost fell.
It's almost like they put WD-40 on the outsole to
Yeah.
make it faster.
Also,
Skates.
I think what might be more embarrassing than actually falling and eating it on the sidewalk is like almost falling, because you go through this like
You're doing the shuffle.
Yeah.
weird, like your body does weird stuff. Your face is probably making crazy faces.
You look like what a ventriloquist dummy, like a
Yeah.
marionette, but when the strings go loose.
It is weird because
And you're kinda like
you don't have any
all over like
consciousness
that.
about it. Like you're completely on autopilot when you are trying to adjust your footing.
But there was this one section actually right in front of what's the hotel in Fells Point?
Oh, it's the
Pendry?
same one that,
Pendry, yeah.
that Robbie had trouble with.
No, I was at the Harbor East one, but it's the same idea.
It's the stone that
Yeah.
once the
It's that
stone gets wet.
Yeah.
And I was like 3/4 of the way through it, thinking I'm like okay, and then just one, like, and I did this weird, I'm saying, like, I don't even know what I looked like, probably insane, but this guy made direct eye contact with me, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I couldn't stop moving forward. So I was like, I'm fine, and then like probably flailing, and I made it to the bricks and didn't eat it, but I was like, oh God.
Since Sagamore is owned by Kevin Plank, CEO of Under Armour, they should take footage of you and put that in there.
It's probably somewhere.
in an
Somewhere.
Under Armour ad.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have to say, like, there's not too many shoes I feel self-conscious in, but I wore the Pro 2s to the Faster Bastards, the 10-mile Saturday
Yeah.
I didn't
Classic.
even notice that. Did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I was very aware that I was wearing $500 shoes to a Faster Bat. Like, here's the thing: it's not like a normal club run. Like, I think some are very low key, and you're running easy. Faster Bastards, people are moving, and even with the $500 shoes, I wasn't in the front, surprisingly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They don't have rockets on them.
Turns out.
Yeah, but it is something. I felt self-conscious, but then Robbie showed up and you were wearing the Tracksmith
Oh, yeah.
speed shoes. So I was like, okay, those are what, 300?
Yeah.
Okay.
I undercut you by 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, first check-in. Hey, everything can be right and things can still go wrong. But I think that's why we're always chasing like the tail. Like we're always looking for that perfect run. And it's what keeps me going out, keeps me going to races. Is that I know that every once in a while you go out for a run and everything clicks. For me this morning, that wasn't the case, but I'll get back out there.
All right. Very excited. LMNT is still a sponsor of this podcast, but what's most exciting is they are launching a brand new flavor coming out May 20th, which honestly, I thought this should have been maybe the original flavor, but it's lemonade salt.
When we saw the packet, Robbie, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, lemonade, what's that going to taste like?
Yeah. It's kind of like lime. You never know.
But it's really good.
I think it's the best flavor they have.
It's real good.
Yeah. I know people think because we're reading an ad that we're just making this up. This is by far my favorite flavor of
And
Element.
it's a limited time flavor, so I think everyone needs to buy it so that they keep it, because I don't want it to go away.
Wait, why would it be limited time?
It is. It says that on the website, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Do not make this limited.
No.
Make this unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely want some if you haven't tried it. We talk about it all the time. We use it post run, during the day, just to stay hydrated.
I'm going to have Robbie read some copy.
He's salty. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think they stole that from me.
we'll get you a t-shirt. You can get your free 8-count element sample pack with any purchase by going to drinkelement.com/thedrop.
Do you think they'll throw a lemonade in there?
Yeah, I hope so, because it's so good.
It really does.
No, actually, you know what? Buy a box of the lemonade and then get your sample pack, and you can try the other ones, but it's the lemonade you want.
Showing up to Run Club in like full gear. Like I make sure that if I'm wearing $500 shoes, I'm not also wearing like Satisfy and stuff. You gotta pick and choose.
You don't need to be flexing someone's monthly mortgage payment on your body. So I wore the Tracksmith Elliott Racer, which I love as a trainer.
It's this year's Cielo X.
Yeah, it's just a great shoe.
I agree that I've been waiting to pull that back out, but we've had so many shoes that need mileage. And I will say, Meg, you've been running in the Pro too, and you ran it this morning.
The Evo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a controversial take. I think the Pro 4 is good enough. The Adizero Pro 4.
I mean,
it's enough firepower for me, at least.
Adidas has basically said that.
They said that in the video.
Okay.
They were like, literally, don't buy this unless you're a very elite athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the feel of it, I think I prefer the Pro 4 over the Evo 2.
Yeah, I could see that in a way.
It's got a little more give, and I feel you can really you can feel the rods in the Pro 4 where do you feel them in the?
No, but that's my preference. I don't like how the rods feel.
What did you think of the toe off? Because I think it's pretty extreme.
And the Evo 2? Yeah, I think I actually like the increase in stack in the forefoot because I felt like in the 2, maybe, especially at the end of the marathon in Berlin, like I felt like my toes wanted something more.
You ran the Evo
1
in Berlin.
In Berlin, yeah. So I feel like the increase in stack in the forefoot I really like. But just knowing how poor the traction is, I would never wear it for a marathon because I'm not going to be in the front with the pros. I'm going to be behind with all the water.
And I get you're trying to get as light as possible. But like that, I even feel like maybe you just throw on that light traction rubber they have.
Yeah.
And what's going to add? Maybe a gram?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it's been... This morning was it was great weather.
It was lovely here.
What'd you wear this morning?
So I've mostly been running in Skechers.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Aero? Volt? I don't know.
Aeroburst.
Yeah. Sorry, I forget the name of it. I actually don't even know anything about it. I remember we looked at it at TRE, but I just took it out of the box and started running it, so I can't really give. I think it's just a train. It's like reminds me of the ride, whatever the Skechers ride used to be. In a way, it just has more of a rocker.
I was thinking about you
feel
this
to
morning.
it. You're thinking about me?
I was.
Okay.
So
What time this morning? Because that makes a huge difference.
all morning.
The whole time.
Boy.
So
It's 2 in the morning. I'm questioning things.
No, I have woken up at 2 in the morning and been like, Robbie Rittinger. No, just kidding. This one was more, we had talked, I think, last week or something about after a day off of running, how that next run just kind of doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And this morning it was beautiful weather. The temps were amazing. Crystal clear, low humidity, perfect day for running.
Yeah, it really was.
And I had the worst run.
It's because I had a good run.
Is that what it is? It's the seesaw effect?
It's been miserable running lately for me, so I was like, finally, I actually felt great during a run.
I had a full day off, and even my coach was like, I don't even want you to lift, like, because I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He's like, just do 2 days right now. Don't want you to lift. Take a complete day off from running.
Yeah.
And
it's weird.
I ran this morning. I was just like, nothing felt good.
Sometimes you just have those days.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's so we have the rule of 20 miles in a shoe before we review it, but I really feel like multiple runs in the same shoe is so important because you can have a really good day for no reason whatsoever and a really shitty day for no reason whatsoever. And we tend to put that weight onto the shoe sometimes.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I already had over 20 miles in the shoe
Yeah.
that I ran in this morning that we're going to be reviewing.
So you know that's not the problem.
So I knew the shoe wasn't the issue. I was running in the Ghost Max, which I really like. Megan says it feels the same as the last one. I think the midsole feels totally different.
I'm gonna wear one of each shoe tomorrow.
Okay.
I think it's a big mistake.
I do it. I've done it.
I know, but I don't think I felt like the second version. The first version. I was surprised that Brooks had a decent max stag ghost out, and I thought it was good, and I think we gave it high marks almost on that surprise. Hey, there's something here. The second one came out, and the midsole didn't feel right to me. It felt blocky, and now this one has that give. And as a matter of fact, when we do the full review, and I know we're not even talking about this shoe today, but I think the Mag Max from Puma is the closest thing to the feeling of this.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see.
But yeah, I was glad that today's run was over. But that's my nightmare. Is like that's the little thing that happens to me before a race. I'm like, is tomorrow going to be that one day
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
everything just sucks?
I feel like race day though. It's just you don't always feel good, but I'm like you always at least feel good in the beginning.
No, I've had ones where I started running. Meg's
I
had
was gonna
one.
say London. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Was that this London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Where you're like, oh, this is way too hard.
I mean, I will say the Chicago Marathon after doing Berlin I felt bad from the beginning, but whatever.
That one you probably almost started to feel better. Like once your legs were okay. Bad the whole time. Got it.
Yeah.
Carl, were you happy you were not running Chicago?
I don't know, because I biked like the whole time
yeah.
trying to film, and it was amazing. I just didn't know where I was half the time. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of not really in shape at that point. Well, I was gearing up for New York, which
Well,
was
you're post Berlin.
post Berlin, and then like 2 weeks before New York, like that. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
all
I'm
three
good.
of those would not be.
It's a
great.
rough combo.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got Berlin in,
Yeah.
and New York,
Did Boston, yeah.
and I mean, you had 3 majors in
Yeah.
less than 6 months.
When I was running today, I was running past the jail, and where someone just took a dump right outside of it. I was like, it's pretty bold of you to do. It was
Like you watched them?
No, not that time. That wasn't the live feed. But someone ran past me, which is a very weird place for someone to run past you because not too many people are running around there. I guess it's coming off the Jones Falls, but he was wearing a pair of Evo SL.
Oh, okay.
And then we ended up at a stoplight. And so naturally, I had to ask him what his experience was. And he was like, oh, they're pretty good. This is my first time ever wearing an Adidas shoe. He's like, they're a little like, get used to kind of, they're a little wobbly or whatever. I was like, but I thought it was interesting that he liked it.
I think this is the best thing that could have happened for Adidas is that it's getting people in their
Right.
shoes, like people who normally
Exactly.
don't wear them. Like the price point, like what would be before this? Like I guess just the Supernova or something, because even the Boost is
For
expensive.
Adidas?
Yeah, and it's like
SL too, but yeah.
yeah, SL2, but I don't think that was as popular enough,
Right.
to drag people into it, and also the clean look of the Evo SL.
Yeah, no, it's like game changer for Adidas.
I'm wondering when they're going to come out with the second version.
You don't think next year? I mean, or end of this year?
Maybe this fall, which would be crazy because has everybody been able to get as many as they wanted of the first
I mean,
dish?
they've had a pretty good supply. I mean, they have a
I see a ton of colorways
Right.
now too.
which are all look
Do
awesome.
you like that golden cream? Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's a nice looking.
Like the women's one
Yeah.
that Adrian had? Yeah.
But what?
So
yeah, I was
nice.
going to say, why is it women's?
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it.
Oh,
you can
what's
just
the
buy
difference?
it. It's
What's
Yeah,
the
I'm
buy it
saying
in
just
the-
throw it on as a men's. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
not like it's a different last. It's the same exact shoe.
Is it a unit? But it's not a unisex.
I thought it was.
Shoe. Is it? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I don't believe that there's that much difference between my foot and a woman's foot.
Yeah.
No, there's a very big difference between my foot and your foot.
That is the truth.
Especially when you paint your toenails.
Well, Meg, before every race,
Yeah. Paint my toenails.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
She has a
tradition.
special station for it at the house.
I do.
cool.
Yeah, it's right in front of her sink on the floor. Just,
Nice.
What exactly is that?
I'm like, I always know because I'll walk into the bathroom. There's someone sitting on the floor.
My big toenails finally grew back after Berlin.
What a treat.
Yeah, they're there again.
Mine
Nice.
hasn't yet.
Took since Berlin.
No, New York.
Oh,
Yeah. Lost
Have you
that
been-
nice big toenail?
did you sell it on eBay?
No, I still
Or-
have it though.
Oh, nice.
It's in a drawer.
Like
Yeah,
my
for
feet,
real?
yeah, why not?
Oh man, dude! If I came up, I'd be like, "This guy's a serial killer. He's got a toenail in a drawer."
It's better than another person's teeth,
Do you? See,
Oh
well, I
my
have that.
gosh.
Actually, I do have those.
Ew.
right?
Yeah.
What do you
have
mean?
the boys' teeth?
I don't think I
gross.
have. I don't think I have.
Dude, I pay good money for those.
Casting stones at glass houses.
What do you see? That's another one of these things. We've talked about this before, but like just keeping think. What are you gonna do
Stem
with
cells.
those?
Stem cells. I could regrow one of the kids if I want to.
Oh my god.
Oh man, you got little science experiments in your.
Mine's is a running souvenir. I'm like, you know how many miles that toenail has?
That is a good point.
But you don't need that
You should
thing.
paint- you should
you
paint
can
the-
just remember it.
Paint the logo of Berlin Marathon on it.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
just paint
Yeah.
the
like the
stripes
rice
on-
necklaces,
Yeah.
but with a toenail.
Carl, you have a Berlin Marathon medal.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna look at that.
He
all
can't
the time.
chew on the metal.
You should frame it. You should frame it with the metal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might glue it onto the back of the metal.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of getting it engraved, it's just your toenail.
Yeah.
And
It's
do
a
you
piece
think-
of me, literally. It's a piece of me in that metal.
That is a good point. Do you think that would survive, like
Nuclear
100
war?
years or something?
Yeah.
Unless we get another tornado and my apartment roof comes off and
Oh yeah.
What? Wait.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
I think they found mummies with toenails.
oh,
Ew.
But they're mummified. Carl's not a.
I'm still here.
Dude, they're
man.
not doing anything special with a toenail on a mummy.
But it's isn't it just wrapping it and putting it in a sarcophagus?
I mean, it's
preserve it?
keeping his nail in a temperature controlled environment.
Yeah, I just wonder if over time though it would fall apart. Things fall apart.
I don't know about a toenail.
No.
No.
Then why don't we just build buildings out of toenails instead of bricks?
Oh
bricks
my
and
gosh.
concrete.
And we're off this topic.
I mean,
The Dyneema.
yeah, stronger, 10 times stronger
Carl,
than steel.
you hurt Carl on that one.
Dude, if Norda makes a toenail shoe, toenail upper shoe, it's gonna be. I think it'll probably sell faster than a Satisfy Cloud Merino.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything that you could use toenails for that would be useful.
If you could do mall tech, you could do toenail tech.
Meg, sorry, Meg.
I can't.
You can do it.
I can't.
a hat,
Yeah,
the bill.
yeah.
So while I was in Nash Vegas, a tornado came through here.
You missed
It
it.
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Carl, where were you for the Great Tornado 2025?
In my apartment, looking out the window,
Did
like,
you?
oh man, it's pretty dark out there.
I was probably filming, like I filmed some of the storm. Actually, we could probably use it for the podcast.
If you have it,
It was like a waterfall coming down off the lights because like we have that parking lot across from our house, and so they have those tall lights, and you can just see the wind and the rain coming down. So I was making a video for Megan saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I might not be here when you get back."
Yeah. So, yeah, for those not from Baltimore, a tornado came through, started at Fed Hill, and then came across the water and into Canton Waterfront Park, where we start our Saturday morning runs.
Yeah, trees down
Tore
all
off
over the place.
the roof of a gym.
the most expensive gym.
Yeah.
It's condemned now.
It's condemned, yeah.
Wait,
Well,
so
now-
like no one can go
So
in?
No
no.
one can go.
I did read a thing that said it's like the condemned just means like there's still, it's not like condemned.
So
It's
people
a
can
loose
get to the pool
It's a loose definition.
because the pool is what I
But
think.
there's
people
no
are upset
roof, right?
They
Part
have
of
a
it.
covering, like they're
Probably
they're
tarped it up.
repairing it already. But
Tarps off.
but I mean, where we meet, yeah, Alex Hermanson's in.
Hurricane
where we meet for the Saturday morning runs. I mean, how many trees were down?
I'd say there's probably 15 trees down.
Like big trees.
Dude,
Yeah,
big
like old
trees. I
growth.
went running, yeah. It was,
trees, and I saw they're trying to start cleaning it up, and the tough part was there's like one that like got pulled out, but it didn't get completely pulled out. So there's like this, they just cut the stump. I'm like, you guys are gonna have to grind that out, and if you
Right.
can't, otherwise it's just gonna be like it's like a giant hole with a stump sticking out.
I'm guessing they will eventually.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is, so that night my kid had a baseball game over in Locust Point. So usually I run from our house over to Lucas Point around the water.
Oh, wow.
And I always go up Fed Hill to the park and then continue on through. So I was about to leave for it because it hadn't stormed yet. It was like 5:40, you know? And I was like, well, even if it's a thunderstorm, I'll just like meet them over there or I'll get the water taxi back. And then I was like flip-flopping as I was walking out the door. And I was like, you know what? I'll just run in the morning, the bastards. I'll just go to the gym instead. Which, if I would have run over there, I would have actually been
In the tornado path?
at the exact same time tornado came through Fed Hill. I would have been right there.
We
That's
might
the
not
same
have
time.
a Robbie Redinger
Oh,
today.
Well, we were both at the gym, and I was walking out, and I was like, oh, that is weird. It's like the sky was black.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah. And then the boys wanted to get pizza. And I had said, if Pasta Misa doesn't deliver, so I'm like, you guys are going to have to go walk and get it. So I get to the house, and they'd ordered pizza, and I'm like, I don't think you guys should walk. They're like, no, we got it. And it was like, I'm like looking out the window. I'm like, dude, it's storming. There's like water coming down. And they caught like the eye of the storm. And they went and got the pizzas and came back. And it again started
Really?
like just
That's amazing.
trashing.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy though. So I don't remember a tornado in
I don't think we've ever had one
City.
in Baltimore.
yeah.
I know I had one like out when I lived in the county at one point.
Yeah.
Because it threw trees on my house, and I had to pay to get them removed, and I remember that vividly.
Nice. But now my entire feed of all social media is just tornado chasers, which I'm not complaining about. It's actually
Right.
pretty awesome. But there's this guy who's a YouTuber whose name's Ryan Hall, y'all. And
Did he run?
yeah. And he used to be a runner, and then he turned into a jacked out weightlifter. No.
Chasing
No,
tornadoes.
no. So it's a different Ryan Hall than the one we know. There's two Ryan Halls in running, right? Isn't there a coach that's a Ryan Hall too? A different one?
There's a Jack Daniels.
Okay. Yeah, that too. But he does, so this guy does these live, he has like a YouTube channel that's live, and it's just documenting all the tornadoes and giving warnings. So it's actually pretty useful, like all the residents.
He's like his own Doppler radar.
Yeah, it's just tornado feed.
Where's he live in, like Kansas?
I think so. Or I'm not sure where he lives, but he has like storm chasers all over the place and like with live tracking on them. So showing,
Oh, so he's not there. He's
aggregating all of the information from like these dozens of storm chasers all over the Midwest, and then showing their live feeds and his feed. It's pretty sick coverage, actually. Like I could watch that for hours without stopping.
Yeah, not me.
No, you're not a tornado guy.
No, man. It's
Do you
just,
like the destruction?
Yeah, it's just so. I don't know. It's not. It's just. It's a spectacle.
Crazy phenomenon, yeah.
They said there's, because of climate change, people are saying, oh, this is what we're having more extreme weather. And they're saying there actually hasn't been more tornadoes, but there's been more clusters of tornadoes. So
Yeah.
like you'll see like 5 tornadoes touch down,
Right.
instead of like maybe one but giant one. Or something.
Yeah.
Sharknadoes?
Oh yeah.
Sharknado.
Well, I had played
That I could watch.
when I was on.
Do you have a feed for Sharknado?
They don't have that yet.
Okay.
No.
Did you watch that movie?
Sharknado.
It's like the new Twister.
I haven't seen the new Twister. No.
Okay.
But I want to.
Yeah, me too.
But I was in Missouri once in this town, and we like played a show there. It's called Joplin, Missouri. I don't even think it exists anymore.
Tornado?
Because there's a tornado that, like, maybe 10 years ago took out the entire town. Like
Jeez.
the entire town.
See, that's the thing. I don't even understand the Twister movie, the appeal of that.
Oh,
Like-
it was mostly like a love story. There just happened to be running after tornadoes.
Okay.
And then did they fall in love?
I think so,
In
yeah.
the middle of a tornado.
Probably like in the middle
See,
of it.
fell in love in
I
a
think it
hopeless
would have been
place.
better to use the game Twister to fall in love than chasing
Oh yeah.
Twister.
Maybe that's in the
Because
movie.
that gets you close.
You haven't seen it.
Oh yeah. If you don't fall in love with someone during Twister, then you're not meant to be.
That
That's
little
as-
plastic mat gets you high.
That's as close as you can get.
That game sucks.
Yeah, it seems great.
Concept-wise, it seems
Yeah,
great.
it's not
Concept-wise.
good.
It literally is something to pull out if you're like the creepy uncle.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play Twister, everybody.
Yeah, no adults. There should be strict. You know how it says like this game is ages 8 and up. It should be like
You got to stop at 7.
Yeah, 8 and under. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could get a game of Twister going on sometime.
Did you listen to the new Morgan Wallen album?
I've heard a few songs off it, yeah, but not the whole thing. I don't know. He's like hit or miss for me. Some songs I'm like, oh, that's a good jam, and I think he has way too many songs, like that double album that he had.
I mean, the one he just released has like 25 songs on it.
Yeah, I think I just think there's too much. It gets a little too. The blend between country and like Nickelback-ish rock, like it starts
like
to
with Post Malone.
I like the Post Malone.
I like Post Malone.
Yeah. No, there's a new song on
I
this
agree
album
with
too.
Robbie. Like, I feel like pop country music can start to sound like Nickelback.
Yeah, some of the like I'm not a big fan of like Florida Georgia Line kind of music.
Okay.
But I like. I mean,
polished country.
Yeah, I'll listen to it. When I'm in Florida, though, that's what you listen to. By the way, you were talking about Danny McBride earlier. Did you know he lives in Charleston?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's where he lives now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I told you that, so that's surprising that you don't know it. But yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Did you?
surprising.
Yeah, I did. I was like, your brother's going to run into Danny McBride one of these days.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, you do. Kenny Powers,
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe you did tell me that.
Mighty Gemstones.
Yeah.
Right. Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous
I actually
Gemstones.
haven't watched that show. Is it funny? Or is it too over the top?
I've tried to get into it. It's
Yeah.
one show that I feel like it fits all the
Right.
stuff, and it's not working for me.
Is it because sometimes I feel like with parody type stuff, it's a little too maybe on the nose or just, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe also I don't have a strong tie to the Southern Church.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's not like I get
You
all
get the references.
politics and stuff.
It was funny because Danny McBride, his mom was like Sunday school teacher, and he grew up.
Was yours?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I feel like when I was listening on the Theo Vaughn podcast, he was talking about that, and I was like, his mom must be. Like, I can't imagine once he got older and started doing like Eastbound and Down, that stuff.
Dude, Pineapple Express.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
so good in that.
So good.
That's my favorite. And then Kenny Powers was really good.
Yeah, he's just a great he's a great dude. I loved hearing his perspective on stuff. Just does his own thing, you know.
I haven't listened to it. Maybe I'll have to listen to it.
It was good.
So when you're doing podcasts, then you're not running because you said you don't run with music or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So no podcast when you run?
No, I used to every now and then, but I just end up zoning out and missing like a whole 5 minutes, and then I have to keep rewinding it, so it's just pointless. So usually it's like if I'm walking or doing the dishes at night or like cleaning, you know, like stuff like that, just in the evening I'll listen to a podcast. Probably not as much as I used to, but yeah, if there's just something going on that I can put it on in the background.
So Meg, you were traveling this week.
Nashville.
Yes. How did your running this week go? Were you able to get all your miles in?
Yeah, I'm doing whatever I want right now. So yes, I got them all in. No, it was surprisingly not that hot in Nashville, but I'm realizing the past couple of times we've been there, we're usually in like the dead of summer, like July and August. And so in May in Nashville, it was actually quite lovely.
What was the topic of this week's Move Her Mind?
So this was all about women's safety. It was kind of a tough conversation, but I think a really good one. And
sorry, go ahead.
we hosted a panel at the
Yeah,
Fleet
right.
Nashville with a woman named Lolita, who is actually like a heart surgeon and suffered a heart attack mid-run.
Isn't that weird? You're a heart surgeon and you suffer a heart attack.
Whoa. Yeah, what are the chances of that?
And
You can't really work on yourself either.
a woman named Abby Lockett, who actually lost her sister Alyssa, who was shot and killed on a run down in Nashville.
Is that the Memphis? Oh,
Yeah.
the Memphis one?
Yeah.
You heard about this?
Yeah, it was like
It was
a few
last
years
October.
ago. Yeah,
No, it was like 7 months ago.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's right. There's the Nashville, and then there was one in Memphis. That was a different one. That was
Okay.
like
This is that recent?
Last year.
Yeah.
And she was able to talk about it?
that's.
I mean,
crazy.
there was tears.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a really hard topic, but again, I think it was,
Oh, because that
really
was in
important.
the park. That was the park.
yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
You know about this?
Yeah, I remember
It
that.
was all over
Yeah,
Runner's
I
World,
knew about it.
and yeah.
I must have missed it.
They had like runs hosted for her, and yeah.
Oh jeez.
There was a lot around it, but now she has this nonprofit, Free to Move, where she's creating all these resources for women in safety.
What is the takeaway? Like, what?
Yeah.
How does a woman make sure that she's in safe?
I feel like people need to listen to the podcast because I don't think I'll do it justice to what she was trying to get across. But her point was, like, her sister-in-law, Alyssa, was like knew everything about self-defense, like was very aware of her like did literally everything
Really?
right. So it's kind of like,
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah. it's just an unfortunate situation. But I think the way that she talks about it is probably more impactful than anything I can say.
Yeah.
Man.
I always wonder, like, because I've lived in like non-city environment and live in the city. I feel safer running in the city
Oh, 100%.
than I do
With a lot of people.
I think there's more people. I think there are also the drivers, and traffic is used to looking for pedestrians, where I feel like sometimes you get out in the county and stuff and they're just oblivious to the fact that someone might be running. So I just think I actually think the urban environment is, even with the dangers in urban environment, it's a safer place.
Oh, it's way safer for sure.
Plus, like, think about how many times, like, when we run in the morning, we'll comment. If we get home from a run and we don't see a lot of people out there, we'll be like, wow, it's not a lot of people running today.
Yeah.
But
The only time I ever in the city got freaked out was because I used to run like at 9 o'clock at night and stuff, and I was on Clinton Street, and that's kind of like a weird street. And I was
like which part?
like up
Okay.
towards the
Okay, yeah.
like the industrial part.
Yeah.
And there was a car that was coming past me, like went real slow and kind of like paused, and probably from far away I looked like a chick because I was like have short shorts on and everything else. So I was like, dude, seriously, if I was probably a girl, I'd be, who even knows?
Also, most people don't run in that part of.
I know, but I think I had a beard on, so I had a beard on as a disguise.
Yes, if you could just.
Yeah, it was
I was wearing my running beard.
it was my Forrest Gump costume.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe we should just be handing out running beards.
Running
to
beards,
people.
dude.
But I think from far away, they might have thought, I don't know, it just seemed real creepy, like
Yeah.
they clearly were stopping for some reason right where I was.
The only area where I felt a little unsafe sometimes is when I run straight down towards downtown, and I got to go through that weird area that used to be kind of like a projects, but now it's like abandoned, and so it's just kind of like a riffraff.
You mean if you go north and then?
No, if I go like straight down, say that you go down straight down Eastern even, and just go out to like where that 7-Eleven is on Central, and then you go past that,
Oh, I
it
see.
starts to get like.
Yeah.
And even you running up by the old prison that's no longer in use, but they have the medical stuff for a lot of homeless people, and
Yeah, I never run in those areas.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel in the daytime it's not like a big deal, but definitely I've been some places at night that's like, yeah, probably shouldn't be there.
that's why I like running in the early morning over the evening too. I feel safer early morning.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. Even if
I'm-
it's dark in the morning, it feels safer than dark
I mean,
at
you
night.
can almost run anywhere in the early morning, and
Yeah.
it's probably going to be fine.
All right, second check-in. This is the perfect time of year to build that base, to get those easy runs in, get those long runs in that aren't too long, but just kind of start building up mileage, and get ready for grit and get ready for those fall races.
This episode is also sponsored by Lagoon Pillows. We use Lagoon Pillows every night. They're our favorite. And not only does sleep improve endurance and risk of injury and reaction time and all those things, but I think it just makes us all happier.
Yeah. True story. 2 nights ago, a Rogue pillow got thrown into the mix.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
And I thought, this isn't a Lagoon. I was freaking out.
I know, now you're a princess in the pea. You can tell the difference, right?
Yeah. And so luckily I figured out which one was the Lagoon, and all things were good for the rest of the night.
That's good. Very good. So Ryan, who is the founder of Lagoon, is actually going to be stopping by, I believe, our Minneapolis stop of the Move Her Mind event series, which is coming up in a couple weeks.
You can move her mind right onto a Lagoon pillow.
He's going to be handing out some very special things, so you'll definitely want to be there. But if you haven't got a Lagoon pillow yet, there's a very fun quiz you can take to get the exact pillow meant for you. You just go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. There's a button right on there, and you can save 15% by using the code BELIEVE at checkout. Okay, today's episode is also sponsored by Pillar. I know that Pillar is good stuff because that's what the NN running athletes use. So
Yeah, they also run it through that. What's that testing they call for?
third-party testing?
No, it's to make sure that it's good for all the athletes and it's not going to cause you any problems when you're.
Certified for sport.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's gone through that as well. And I am testing out the magnesium. It's actually called triple magnesium, which is a high dosage of the magnesium product. And I'm going to take it for a full week. And they said it's going to be apparent in my wearables
Right.
of how it's helping with recovery.
You're taking the pill form. I've been taking the powder. And just like Morton is encapsulated to go into your system without breaking down until it hits your intestines, they've also done something with their magnesium where it's similar to that. And that's why they feel it's like the best version. So it's encapsulated and gets into your system a little bit better than traditional magnesium. Plus, the reason they're able to have one that dissolves into water is because if you just ate magnesium or put it in your mouth normally without the encapsulation, it doesn't taste good.
I imagine.
This, however, tastes kind of like a pineapple-y pina colada kind of mixture. So right before bed, it's actually kind of become a nice treat.
We've also both been taking their collagen in our coffee every morning, and I think you're also taking omega-3s and a few other
I'm
supplements.
taking their B12, the omega-3s, the magnesium at night, the collagen in the morning.
Pillar makes it, Thomas takes it.
Yeah, they also have some creatine that I've mixed into, like when if I was just grabbing like one of those pre-made ones. What's the muscle milk or whatever? What's the one that we get?
Fairlife.
Fairlife. I'll just put a scoop of creatine in that after my workout.
So anyway, we've been loving their products. If you want to try them out, you can get them on the feed. And if you enter the code BITR, that will save you 15% off your first order.
When I was on those weird streets, I'd always try to look for a way to get away. But right where I was too, it's like there's like all those industrial places with high fences with barbed wire. And I was like, dude, I'm screwed if something happens here. But anyways.
The morning after the event, I went on a run by myself in the town we were in where the store is called Brentwood. Mm-hmm. So it's like just outside of Nashville. And like I'm running by houses with like 6 cars outside and like probably 12 bedroom, 12 bath.
Brentwood's like
and I'm like, geez.
You know about Brentwood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the very well-to-do part of Nashville.
Yeah, I felt very safe.
Been there. Yeah.
Right after a women's safety thing, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah. In that neighborhood for sure.
Do they like? What's the theory on? Especially in Tennessee, do women ever like carry on them, like a gun or anything? Is that like? I mean, they probably did talk about that in the thing, but did that? No,
I mean, I'm sure people do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that would even. I don't think it would really help in that situation.
That's
but I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing that would scare me more. Like if you have a gun, because like
I feel like more will go wrong.
No, I agree with you. I totally do. I was just wondering. Like that's why I wouldn't. I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. Like even I think the smartest thing would do to be like carry mace, or something. But because you can't really like get that turned on you and
a ring thing that has like a claw on it, like a knife.
Oh yeah,
claw.
I've seen that. That's a cool thing.
That like
that's just cool in general.
Yeah, like a Wolverine style.
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I think I don't know. Even as a man, I think you're vulnerable in the running situation because you're pretty much trotting in a straight line. To be in your blind spot or to come up from behind you or something like that, I think is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's like you have to trust your instincts and, do your best to run in places that you feel comfortable and confident in, and that's pretty much it.
What do they say about, like, as far as sharing your location or things like that?
I think it all comes down to, like, personal preference. In fact, she even said, like, what safe means is going to be literally different to every single person in this room. Like, yeah. It's just it's a hard topic. I wish that we lived in a world where this wasn't even a discussion.
Right.
Is the ultimate goal, but I don't know how we get there.
Yeah. I mean, even when I run out, when I'm home and I run on the back roads by my parents' house, it's like, man, there is not much around there, or on trails even if not even just someone attacking you, but like if like when I run back in that mountains, there's like rattlesnakes and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I told that story one time. There's like a rattlesnake in the middle of the trail that somebody warned me about that I wouldn't have never seen if I had been running. And like I'm 2 miles away from anything. Like that's, if anything happens, that's
do you feel
freaks
that
me out.
You, like, a lot of places you run, I won't even run. Mm-hmm. Do you think what do you think it is? Like, if you were a woman, you probably wouldn't run half the places you run.
Probably not. Yeah, it's definitely certain spots for sure. It's weird.
Like, it really is. Like, I think about, like, even when we go out to the trails and stuff, like, I'm not worried.
I know. It's sad.
And I would think that if I was a woman running by myself on the trails, I would.
Yeah, I would never run trails by myself.
Yeah. It sucks so bad. And it's like, I wish there's something I could do on a level to change that, but there's just psychos at all times. You know what I mean?
Like outside of running, like
that's what I mean. It's never
like
that's the thing. It's like I can't give the message to other runners because it's not like other runners are waiting in split shorts to jump out of the way. Like
when you're
that's
running,
the scariest thing I could ever imagine. Yeah.
When you're running, have you ever run past someone in the woods?
Like behind them?
No, like you just get a weird vibe, like.
Oh yeah, like why is this person hanging here?
Yeah. I've gotten that. Like, we'll be running someplace, and I'm just like, what is? Why is this person out here?
Right. Like,
and then Carl's like,
That's
just
me.
here trying to get a run in.
Carl has a pink light on in our studio today, and we've all asked a lot of questions and still unsure.
It's for the ambiance.
yeah, I thought he was putting a camera on himself, which I'm not against, by the way.
We'll get there eventually.
Which, like, I like this little setup you got. I think you should be smoking. Is that a smoking section back there?
No, there's no smoking sections in this office.
You can Zyn back there.
Yeah.
You can Zyn or nicotine patch.
Zyn City back there.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Is in the pouches things that you...
Yeah.
So we went and watched live music, obviously, because we were in Nashville at the stage on Broadway.
Oh, they're very popular in that community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's funny because I was talking to a friend recently and they like had never heard of Zyn. I was like, what are you talking about? But like in the outdoor, like the bro culture kind of
Is
like.
it called something else?
I'm sure there's some nicknames.
There's some
the
offshoots of
nicotine
it.
tablets. Like, we have a friend who chews those like one after another. Like,
Yeah. There's
No, but the pouches are... That's
Zyn.
Zyn.
Zyn. I mean, that's the main brand of
Okay.
them.
you can also
that's a
get
brand.
chewing tobacco in. A
Well,
pouch.
it's kind of like the replacement for
That's
that,
like
right?
snus, but yeah, then yeah, Zyn's like the very popular one now. And it's
Okay.
like, especially in music or like,
Does it taste like anything?
you can get flavors of it, yeah. I haven't tried it because
Is it just nicotine?
Because I love, when I vape, I love that the high levels of nicotine hit me too good, and I don't even want to touch it again. So I refuse to try it. But all my friends do it. So
Yeah, every male on stage who had a mic or a guitar was popping those
Zinning.
the whole time.
Well, there's like that video of like a fan throwing Morgan Wallen like thing of Zyn
Oh.
and him taking one out on stage, and I don't know. I've seen it. Yeah, it's very.
Is he the one who says when I drink tequila?
No, I don't think so. Although he probably says that at some point in some song.
Yeah.
No, there's
Most
like-
of
there
them
was
about
like-
breaking up with girls or drinking or the combination of the two. He's got that down pat.
He's the male Taylor Swift,
Kind of in a way.
Yeah.
or as we like to call her, Trailer Smith.
Trailer Swift. Yeah. Trailer Smith.
It's not okay.
But anyways, yeah, a lot of people like to do this. I'm surprised more runners don't do Zyn, actually.
I think I'd try it because I don't know if I've ever like. I don't remember nicotine being something that I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's not.
Or I don't know what it feels like.
It's obviously the evolution of cigarettes to vaping to Zyn, or tobacco to Zyn.
Now they're saying
but
the vaping is causing irreversible lung damage.
I believe it. That's why I just go all natural.
Yeah, go analog.
Yeah, analog cigs.
Dude, are
Yeah,
you
don't go
like
digital.
those guys in the jungle just chewing on a leaf?
Like a coca leaf?
Yeah.
I do that.
I can't imagine any of these things that we're talking about don't have very large negative
I
consequences.
think I think Zyn is the only one that might actually be like.
until we
fairly
find out in
safe.
10 years.
They
that-
actually said that chewing on cocoa leaves actually is medicinal.
I believe it.
It's the refinement
It's the-
and then
yeah.
blowing it all night while you're in a club that gets
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nature, man. It's there for the healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you. I was
Now that
watching.
we've just promoted doing drugs
Well,
on
I
this
was watching.
podcast.
I was
Not
watching.
drugs. They're not
I was watching a show and they
Just
were talking
drinking
about
Coca-Cola.
mushrooms, and I was like, I would, in the right environment, I think I would.
I think you would
Okay.
definitely need to be in the right
I will
environment.
not be in this environment.
That might
Yeah.
be the right one.
Checks out.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that people like to abuse things. People
Yeah.
like to take it too far.
Yeah.
I
They
think
ruin everything.
everything in moderation, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know, maybe I don't know if we could be the first partners for Zyn, running and Zyn.
We will not be.
No?
No, we
Alright.
will not be. No.
Instead,
not accepting
instead of
that
run gum,
sponsorship.
it would be
I mean, yeah, if you had like a run gum version but with Zyn, I think that would hit.
yeah. Before your next workout,
If you did a straight nicotine right before the race, I think that would work.
what does nicotine do?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know what
Gives you clarity, gives you an energy bump,
gives you clarity.
clarity of vision, focus. It does help you focus. That is actually scientifically
Let's
true.
get the kids on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cut back
I
on the
think they're
Ritalin.
I think they're already on it. If they're in middle school, they've been exposed. No, I'm not advocating for that, but
So without having Zyn, how's your running going?
pretty good. I mean, it has been horrible until today, so now it's doing pretty good.
Isn't it
Now we're
amazing?
on the up and up.
One good run.
Last week was horrible. I don't know if it was my coach thinks Coach Greg, shout out. He thinks it's like nutrition related because I remember I was telling you my legs just feel dead, like cooked, and he's like two workouts at the gym a week plus running should not do that.
Yeah.
When I'm only running 25 to 30 miles a week. Like they felt so bad all week last week. And so he's wondering if it's something nutrition related.
Well, you're pumping in the runway protein, right?
but
And that
he's
has some
like
creatine in it.
he
as
was
well.
saying it sounds like you're not getting enough carbs, and I'm like,
That's what's gonna-
do
I was
you
gonna
know
say.
my diet because that's pretty much all I eat. But it might need to be more
Yeah.
because he was like, those workouts are hard. Like you're
depleting
spending-
yourself of all the carbs.
and I haven't added anything to my diet, and sometimes I don't eat enough. I
Are
would
you
say.
eating before your runs?
I usually don't, which is also a problem. Probably.
Well, wait a
Right
second.
there.
So on Saturday, you ran what 9 miles or
I did eat
8
before.
miles?
I did eat a piece of
Okay.
toast before that.
That's what I was gonna say. Like those runs, I don't. Megan eats a graham cracker or two before every run.
Yeah.
I don't always eat before a run, but on those, if I know I'm going to be out there for like the 10-mile run with the bastards,
Yeah.
I have a pretty solid. Like I'll eat a bagel.
Like this morning, I ate a half a banana, but usually I don't eat.
Without the ice cream.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm saving it for when I finish grade. But I didn't eat anything else. Usually, I don't in the mornings if I run.
I think that's problematic.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's start there.
All right. Dr. Carl.
Dr. Carl chimes in for
yeah.
one suggestion.
That'll be $1,000.
I'll Venmo you later. All right. Yeah, maybe I need to look into that. He wants me to keep track of my food, which is honestly embarrassing for everyone.
Food logs.
Here's the thing that AI has gotten involved in that, and now you don't have to like log everything. You just take a picture of it, and the AI does it all
Oh, I thought
for
you were
you.
saying just think about it and it would put it somewhere.
You could try
No,
that.
but my new Oura Ring, not new, but there's a new feature to it where it's exactly that. Like you take a photo of your meal and I haven't done it yet. So TBD how good it is, but you take a photo of your meal and it like analyzes what's in it and like breaks down the macros and then tells you timing wise how this was for your day.
Oh,
Crazy,
interesting.
right?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like we had the Featherston skillet last night, or whatever it's called, fajita skillet.
Yeah.
How's it going to tell what's in that? Like
Yeah.
that looks like a pile of stuff.
I didn't take a photo, so I don't know.
All right.
Right, like if I put Chick-fil-A sauce, how does it know if it's Chick-fil-A sauce or honey mustard? How's it going to be able to tell?
Or
which
how
is
about
which?
this?
That's true.
Because they're wildly different.
I'm having a Cuban for dinner tonight. How does it know what's in the Cuban?
Hey, do you know what's in a Cuban?
Yeah.
What?
So there's pickle, Swiss, pork,
And
the bread, and then like a Dijon.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
there's ham too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
ham.
in a
Ham.
classic one,
Yeah.
there's ham too.
In ham too.
Right.
But that's
I knew
gross.
I was
That's
missing
too
one
much.
meat. Yeah.
No. I keep adding that. Let's pile that on.
Salty ham, I love it.
We love our salted beef.
We do. Carl and I had a moment in, like, now I want it all the time. Like, why don't we have that?
I just want salted beef.
You want the thick cut?
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
thick cut salted beef?
It's getting,
It's getting romantic.
You guys should go on a date night.
Do I need to do a report on all the beef sticks I stole from the green room at Adidas? 'Cause I think I've gone through them all at this
Have
point.
you?
Yeah.
Applewood.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Let's talk about the shoe.
All right.
This
All
Rebel
right.
V5.
All right.
From
Well,
New
you know what I
Balance.
forgot to bring in? I also wanted to talk about the Prodigio Pro. I know because we've been promoting that through Taylor. It's been like raving about the shoe. I finally took it out. I went,
Oh, yeah, you went on a
for a
trail
run
run.
with Theo this past weekend. And it is a really good shoe. The only thing is, like, it fits my foot like a glove, which I have a more narrow foot. So I'm kind of curious what the range for feet is. I don't even know what Taylor's foot shape is like. But
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I don't know. I looked at you like you were going to know.
Yeah.
I did.
He would know.
do.
I mean, I
Anyone
would
in this
know.
room
That
would
Someone's
is,
know.
gonna know. He'd be like, you edit his reviews sometimes, so I would figure maybe it gets
yeah,
mentioned.
I can't. I think it is. I don't think it's super narrow. I think it is a little bit wider.
So
Okay.
that was my gut
The,
feeling.
the upper is tremendous. It feels very sturdy, like especially on the trails. And the midsole feels really good. It reminds me of that Hoka Tecton 2.5
oh, okay.
that I really liked. That
Yeah.
one's more of a Piva based blend, and then you have another one. This seems like it's all just like a super critical foam, but it felt great. The traction was amazing. I was like, this is a really good shoe. But
Yeah.
I don't review enough
It's-
trail shoes to be like,
Well, every trail reviewer that we've had try it says it's pretty much the best. Like it's probably going to get the shoe of the year.
Wow.
I can see why it would. I really do love the booty on the Hoka. I love that on the trails. It keeps stuff out, and while this one has a pretty closed off ankle collar, I did end up getting a little something in there while I was running. But I mean,
Yeah.
the shoe felt great.
Nice.
Matter of
Right.
fact, our friend Matt West from not Bandit, but from
The band?
yeah,
Neck Deep?
Neck Deep. He messaged me today because he just signed up for a 50K and wanted to know if that would be a good race
nice.
day shoe.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I really enjoyed it, but you should talk to Taylor. Message Taylor, and he has more experience with more shoes than I do on the trail side.
That's cool. He'd probably like it.
I can't see how anybody would dislike
Yeah.
it. But today we're talking about,
The Rebel V5. New Balance Rebel V5.
which all of us have
yeah.
been putting miles on.
Which and
Oh,
we
okay.
already have our full review out, so
Yeah.
you've honestly probably seen it if you're at all interested in this shoe.
Yeah, but now you get to hear us wax about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I did realize that I didn't include in the review?
What?
I like the N on the last version better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the giant.
I
M.
kind of like this one better.
I just love the
personally.
aesthetics of this shoe.
I think it
in
looks
general.
great, but I really like that big end that was on the.
I think they're
last one.
both. I think they're both good or great. I don't know.
But so the main updates for this shoe is it got 5 more millimeters of Apiva blended foam underfoot. So now it's 35.29 for a 6 millimeter drop. It also got this cutout cavity at the bottom, which they have a much more drastic version of that in the SC Trainer and Elite. The cutout, but
I
it's
call it the Canyonero.
Did they?
No, that's what I call it.
Okay. All right. That
Canyonero.
works.
And then there's some nice padding on the heel collar because I know a lot of people complained about getting
Yep.
rubbing or blisters or something back there.
And a better tongue.
And yeah, better tongue.
But the cavity, before we jump off the cavity,
Yeah.
the whole reason that's there is to kind of the last version kind of felt a little flat underfoot and maybe a little slappy, and this cavity gives it a little more dynamic feeling right there in that part of the shoe.
Yeah.
I still think we could get a little more pop off the toe. I'm actually curious. Like, I really like this version. I think that it's a great update. I think a lot of people are going to be real happy with this. Robbie and I are going to do an Evo. Is it Robbie and I or you and I? Robbie and I are going to do an Evo 1 or Evo SL versus
Rebel V5.
Rebel V5 video and talk about it. But this is probably one of our top shoes of the year, I think. But I would like to see, like, they experiment with this model, and I wouldn't mind seeing a version with an ATPU midsole.
The only thing I was thinking is, have we seen that foam formulation without a plate? Because, like, I'm thinking about how soft some of those shoes feel.
Yeah, the SL, Evo SL has ATPU.
That's
It
what
is?
that is.
I believe that is, yeah. Isn't that what Adidas uses for their super shoes? Like, isn't Light Strike Pro an ATPU?
I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I thought it was.
I don't think it's aliphatic. It might be like they're very cagey about exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's. I'm not sure if it's that though.
My only thought was it could get too soft because, like, I already feel like, and we noted this in the review, but like for really fast running, it feels like just a tad too squishy.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing, and so I think the shoe's great, but I think it's still. If anyone thinks they're ever getting back the Rebel V2, I don't think that's happening.
What was the Rebel V2? I know I didn't like it.
The Rebel V2
Simple.
had a super critical foam, but it was a little thinner underfoot.
And
but
firmer?
It was super. It wasn't that much firmer, but it was super light.
I mean, it's 10 millimeters less of a stack.
Yeah. So it just, I kind of tend to, I'll disagree with you guys a little bit on that. While I do feel it's a little soft, I think this is the best version. I know people are going to love the V2 and fight me on this, but I think if I put back on the V2 and I put this back on, I'd probably rather run in this shoe than the V2.
I agree with you, but I just think it's a different shoe. Like I think it's
Yeah.
like a daily more of a daily trainer.
Well, I have to say one thing I love about what they do with this line is they're a little more experimental than they would be on the other. Like if you see, like we did the history going from the original one with the flare on the side all
Right.
the way up to this one, each shoe has had a different character to it. This one and the 4 are the closest, like without going, too crazy.
Without a wild change.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a better version of the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Which is a different version than the 2 and the 3.
So the people who love the 4, I think, are really going
Yeah.
to love this shoe. I do think it's a great upgrade. The rubber on the bottom is a much better feeling, like a smoother feeling underfoot. And I think it's going to be even more durable. Although, like, I'm getting close to 100 on this one, and I can see some little bit where the exposed foam is. I can see a little bit of wear coming in.
But I think that's all going to be aesthetic.
Yeah,
not
it's
really.
not. It's not going to make a difference in the ride. And the upper, if you like the version of the SE Elite, that's the same similar kind of mesh as the last year's the V4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you don't like about this?
I No, I just think is that. Well, we said that in a review. Meg and I did. It's like if you want to go fast, and it does feel a little soft.
Like, I'm not going to choose this for my speed day.
Right.
Doing 200s or Ks or whatever.
No, but you wouldn't name a shoe that's not a super shoe that you're going to choose.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want a plate for a speed day.
And I think, I don't know if I'm not supposed to say this or not.
Probably
but-
don't say it then.
Okay, there might be a version of this that you would use for speed work.
Yeah, I think that might be coming.
Do you think the Nova Blast is softer than this?
About
Yeah.
equal.
Yeah. Trying to
Or maybe a
I was
little
trying to remember.
softer. It's hard to tell without putting them on my feet.
I think it's a little bit.
The Nova Blast just feels a little more built up than this. This feels slimmed down compared to the Nova Blast to me.
Interesting.
I mean, they're definitely fall into the same category, I think,
Yeah.
of like use case.
Well, we said this,
Yeah, what's the 4?
the
Evo
Neo
SL,
Zen,
Neo Zen,
Evo SL,
And
and Nova Blast,
and Rebel. Yeah.
and Rebel. And who-
Skechers Aerobolt.
You know how
That shoe isn't bad, but it doesn't fall in the same category. as this.
We're talking this category is $140 to $150 shoes.
and
that are
a
really good.
simple
Yeah.
build. Like I
Lightweight.
Final check-in. I hope you're going to run grit with us. Remember, it sells out really fast. So set your alarm. Get ready. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time. So you people on the West Coast, you're going to want that 6 a.m. alarm on. But it sells out fast. And man, the swag is sweet. You're going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun being part of the group. And come run with us.
Today's podcast is sponsored by SWIFTWICK.
I'm wearing them right now.
Per usual, we're
Yep.
always sporting them. So with everything that's happening in the world, we thought it would be a good time to mention that SWIFTWICK is one of the few performance sock brands made exclusively in the USA.
I like that.
USA.
And
I hear it's even made in Tennessee.
Yes. So because
Tennessee.
of their commitment to domestic manufacturing, they're also able to commit to both customers and retail partners that they won't be raising prices in the near future.
Nice.
So that's very exciting.
That's cool. That means if we did a Believe in the Run collab sock with SwiftWick, it would also be made in the USA, right?
Yeah. Which
I-
might be coming.
I like it.
Ah, yeah.
So if you have not picked up a pair of SwiftWick socks yet, you definitely should go to swiftwick.com/collection/believe. And you can see some of our favorite picks on that page. And then drop listeners can get 15% off their purchase with code BELIEVE15.
Yeah, and I'm just going to give one last recommendation that if you're going to wear SwiftWick socks, wear them one time and then wash them and then wear them again, Robbie.
No, you can wear the socks are so good that you don't even have to do it. You can
We'll
go
leave
weeks
that up
without
to
washing.
everyone else.
Like Nike doesn't have anything to compete with this.
No.
Name.
I mean, so the Brooks,
guessing
like I
that-
just reviewed the Brooks Ghost. It's like a pretty nice trainer, but it's not this. You know, it's the same. It's $140, $130 or $140, but it's
140.
But it's nice and comfortable and like a solid, really solid daily trainer. But it's not exciting. You know, it's like,
That's the special sauce on these, the ones that we mentioned. There's just something, that F factor.
They've got like almost a race day foam in a inexpensive shoe. Quote, inexpensive.
yeah.
Well, someone made a comment. They're like, "Isn't it weird that now we're like excited about $150 being a budget?"
Yeah. Which, by the way, you brought this up. How much was a pair of Jordans you bought?
Okay, so Henry's doing, my youngest son is really getting into basketball, and I noticed he's like playing in like, I gave him a pair of old school Adidas,
like Timberlands?
like from the '80s basketball shoe, and then like a retro pair, and then he's been playing in like running shoes, and I was like, look, if you're that into it, and he's been playing quite a bit, like he'll go out for hours, and they go to Patterson Park and play. I was like, why don't I get you a pair of basketball shoes?
Yeah, I saw him playing on the court by our house.
Yeah,
I was gonna go teach him some lessons, but I thought I don't want to embarrass him.
That'd be good. So I let him pick out a pair of shoes. When I saw the Jordan moniker, I was like, these are going to be expensive. And he's wearing men's sizes, so this isn't a kid size. We got him the pair of the Jordan Zions. I don't,
Okay, is that like Zion Williamson?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a very, and it has really nice elements like gum rubber, or crystal rubber on the bottom.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's got an airbag in the back.
Okay.
Like it has like all the bells and whistles. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be what, 200?
Right.
Something like that. It was 150 bucks.
150?
Yeah. And
I
I'm
thought you
like,
said it was like 120. Was that 150?
I
You're probably right.
yeah, I think it was around
Look up
150.
Zion Williamson.
And Nike.com too. I didn't go to like a different website, like straight from Nike.
What is it?
Forgot I have my phone.
Nike Zion. Zion.
But yeah, so it has all that stuff.
All the tech. And it even has the insole.
Yeah.
is
140.
Yeah, 140.
140.
The insole's like one of those blue maca insoles, like the
Oh, yeah.
you know, the really spongy
Yeah.
like thing. It has everything. And I'm like, why is this 140 and a running shoe?
Right. Pretty simple.
Like try to go buy the Nike even the Nike Premium, that's like $200.
Yeah, I mean the most basic running shoe you can get at this point. That's
Around that price.
That's legitimate. It's what 120 for sure.
Yeah.
Like the Adidas SL2, Brooks Launch, whatever.
So I kind of have two theories. One, the people who are buying basketball shoes are probably younger, and maybe price point is going to be a little more, important.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a parent buying a basketball shoe for a kid or something like that. So I think who's going to be buying this shoe probably determines part of that. And the other thing, I'm going to guess they sell a lot.
That was my guess. Was
It's volume.
but it also like how many Brooks Ghosts are sold?
I know.
Like it has to be more than that shoe.
Dude, Pegasus.
Or Pegasus, yeah. It has to, or even the Vomero. It has to be more than that, right?
I would think so because there's several
That's
basketball
a pretty
shoes.
niche, like
And it's,
right.
it's a lower top one. I don't know.
Like the thing is,
Popular.
people were wearing Brooks Ghost or Adrenaline or not Adrenaline or Glycerin or Nike Pegasus. Like people just wear those, not runners, just people. Like everyday, it's like normal people who don't have weird habits. And that's you got to imagine they're selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of those compared to a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
So there, I don't know if it is the volume. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, because this shoe, the quality of it, like holding it in my hand, Robbie, I was like, this is a really nice shoe.
And that's the crazy thing is like when we were kids, Jordans were
My
what, 175?
No, my first.
Or pumps, Reebok pumps, I think, were like
Oh, yeah.
175.
My first pair of Jordans were $110. I remember it because it was the first shoe over $100. And I remember begging my dad for it.
Right.
And he gave in. I couldn't believe he
So
gave in.
with inflation, what is that today? 270 or something? Probably.
Yeah, it'd probably be up there. Like that was 1988 when I got a pair of Jordan 3s. I think they were in the black and cement.
Yeah.
And I wanted it so bad.
And so that's amazing that you can even get, it's almost the same price
Yeah.
as the shoes were back then. I think the original Reebok pumps were like 180 or something like that, which is wild to think about. That people actually spent that on a pair of kids' shoes, like for a fourth grader.
It had a little
So
basketball.
they're gonna
on it.
last like 3 months.
Yeah.
I remember they tried to bring it to other sports. So like the ball that was on the tongue would like they tried to make it like a baseball at one point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny.
I mean I remember trying on the pumps when they first came out. It wasn't that comfortable.
It was a great. It was definitely a
Marketing,
great.
yeah.
So you said it was 110. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, 110 1988.
So
It was fall of 88. I was going back to school.
Yep. It doesn't have fall of 88. Sorry.
All right.
Did you want to say that?
No.
Okay.
that's fine.
I didn't know if it was a good story.
No.
Like, and then you got your ass kicked and someone took them.
No, I didn't.
Which
I didn't.
seemed to be a
No,
thing
no.
back then. I feel like that
I
happened
did
all the time.
My closest friend at the time I got the black with cement, and he got the white.
Oh yeah.
And I remember seeing his whites, and I was just like, I made a mistake.
Yeah, but you got to keep those clean. That's much harder. So $298.
Okay.
Yeah.
So around 300.
And then, can you look up real quick what the original price of the Reebok pump were? Just I need to do this real quick. It's gonna drive me crazy. And when did the pumps come out? 92?
How do I know what the original
I don't
ones?
remember.
Just look up original
okay.
Reebok pump price.
No, it had to be before 92.
Maybe 90. Because I feel like same time British Knights were on,
Oh, BK Knights.
Double Dare as a top
Or,
prize.
when BKs, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't need to say the Knights part.
But it was British Knight was the name, but they just
Yeah.
called them
BKs.
BKs. Okay.
This says they were famously and controversially expensive, $170 at launch.
Yep. And does it say year? I'll just put 1990.
I think it said 89.
Okay.
So a year after I got my Jordans.
So that's probably going to be about the same. So imagine that. 1989. Dude, $440 in today's dollars.
Crazy.
Could you, that's insane.
Dude, that's getting an
That's
Evo
an
SL.
Evo, yeah.
Imagine buying your Evo Pro. Imagine
Evo.
buying
Oh, yeah.
your kid a pair of Evo Pros just for that.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
think of this, though. In 20 years or whatever, when we're looking up like the Evo Pro, because we'll be like,
Yeah.
everybody's spending $700 shoes. What was the price of that?
Well, that would be like $2,000 in
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
in their dollars.
Yeah.
But that's in today's dollars. That's crazy. $440 of spending money for a pair of shoes, of casual shoes for a kid. And there's multiple kids in my school who had Reebok pumps, but I guess your money went further back then, or you only, I don't know. How did that work? How did money work? How does
it's pretty similar.
how does capital work?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
I
think it's
mean,
changed
I
too
was
much.
surprised that Giacometti's bust of his brother went up for auction at Christie's or Sotheby's, and they were asking around $70 million for it, and it didn't go. Nobody got it.
$70 million?
Yeah.
I don't think that's this audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Nobody wants a Giacometti bust.
I
I
don't think so.
Don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's his seminal work. Yeah.
Wow.
Post World War II.
70 mil. So how much did it sell for?
It was so they did a naked auction, which means they didn't have like sometimes they have an insurance buyer where they're like, you can get it for this price if it doesn't hit the thing, and so no matter what, it's going to sell.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, they call it going naked.
Okay.
They put it up without a guaranteed buyer. And they started the bidding at 60 million. And he's had other pieces similar to it sell for like 70 million, but this was like, this is supposed to be a big deal one. And he had a piece that sold for 100 million, the pointer, a little while ago. And it went up for auction. Nobody started bidding, so the auctioneer brought it up to the reserve price.
Uh-huh.
Still silence. They waited like 4 minutes,
Whoa.
and the gavel came down, and the audience gasped, and that was the end of that.
And then, so does he lose money? Do they?
Well, what it does
the
is-
state lose money on that or whatever.
You don't lose. Well, they probably lost money putting it up for auction because you have to pay probably
Right.
just to be there. And then Sotheby's did a lot of marketing for it, so you're probably
Jeez.
paying for that. But what it really does, though, it's called burning the art, because now
Oh.
you know the price.
So then all the rest of his stuff probably.
It hurts the rest of the stuff, but it also hurts. Like, there's probably people who are like calling him up and being like, "Look, I'll give you 50 mil for it," and taking 20 million off the price.
Yeah.
And doing that, so it's destructive that way. But maybe you just take it, put it away for a little while.
Imagine having 50 mil
Right?
just to spend
Buying
on
some artwork.
someone's head.
Well, I mean, it's an investment. It's just like any other commodity.
I get it. Yeah.
Just a different level of.
I mean, they spent what was it,
Finances.
$6 million on the electrical tape banana.
Yeah.
that person's an idiot.
I'm sorry, but sometimes
That's
I know you went to Micah and that's like a normal thing in that world, but I don't know, man.
it's not. It's not.
You
normal.
know which one I actually wish I kind of would have bought, but didn't, is that they had one of the 6 or 10 original waffle racers, the moon shoe one for sale like 10 years ago for, I think it's sold for on eBay too. I think it was less than 10 grand, maybe about that. I feel like that would have been a pretty good investment.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think that would probably go up. But they put up for auction also Roger Bannister's Spike.
Oh, I saw that. Do you know how much it sold for?
I want to say it was like less than I thought. Like I don't even know if it reached $1 million.
Probably not. Yeah.
But
That would be pretty cool, though.
I think that, I mean, can men be able to buy Kipchoge's Alpha Flies from Breaking 2?
That'd be interesting if they ever go on sale. I wouldn't be surprised if they did for a charity type cause or something.
I think those are going in the Nike.
Oh, that's
Nike
a
kind of has a
that's
museum.
right. That's
so,
right. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I was surprised I saw at Road to Records when the guy broke the 10K record or whatever. It's not like they took the shoe off him and had him sign that. They just took a pair of Takumi Sen and wrote the time on it, and then I think he signed that pair.
Okay.
So it's not the actual pair, which I was kind of disappointed in. I kind of like when we seen some of those displays, it's like I want the actual shoe.
Yeah. So what do they do with the? They put it in the archives or something?
Mm-hmm.
In a museum. This belongs in a museum.
All that stuff, yeah.
They should start making cards out of them, cutting up the upper, making like they do for baseball cards with the jerseys and stuff.
That'd be interesting. Would you buy playing cards of runners?
No, it sounds like I'd lose a lot of money on that.
So that's the one
not.
sport. That's where
If it was a sign like one of one, that'd be kind of cool.
I think that would be an interesting way to help people learn the names of some of these.
Well, dude, remember
elite
how
athletes.
I was saying that the card collecting has gotten out of control? You know, I saw the worst one I've ever seen in my whole life because I get all these posts about them. So apparently, Topps has a whole set that's like a partnership with Gary Vee, and it's called V's Friends.
V Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, V Friends.
Yeah, V Friends.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
And there's a card that's like a one of one of like some dude who's a Instagram influencer realtor, and it's like has a signature, and it's supposed to be like you got a good pull if you got this card. I'm like, this dude is just a realtor with like 500,000 Instagram followers. How are we turning this into a baseball card?
So V Friends started off. Gary Vee was doing. He wanted to get into the what's that? The art that people were doing with the
Crypto.
big-
Yeah, like what do you call it?
like people crap.
NFTs.
Yeah,
NFTs.
NFTs. Yeah. So he did.
It's so bad we don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. I was so excited about this. And then it's gone.
Yeah.
Like people were buying that monkey for like
Yeah.
millions of dollars. He did like little sketches of stuff. They weren't even really good drawings. Sorry, Gary. And he called them V Friends, and that was going to be his NFT play. And he probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he sold a couple.
I mean, that guy knows how to get water out of a rock. That's for sure. When
Dude,
it comes to
He's on the edge.
yeah, he's always predicting the next thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's his thing. It's predicting the next thing.
Yeah.
There's never an all in on it. It's just predicting the next thing.
I mean, he's done well doing that.
No, I don't judge him at all. I think he's done great.
What I
For
thought
his
was
thing
interesting is Miralax was one of his clients, and I'm talking about it, so this is how it get the Gary Vee effect.
There you go.
He said that, typically they would get like 30 or 40 likes on a Instagram post. And it was like colorful pictures of the bottle on a background. What you'd expect from a Miralax campaign. And so he just did one that was like they just did a chart with like who pooped today, and they put their like hash marks next to it. Of course, that one goes viral.
Sure. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, that dude took a Miralax thing and made it go viral. That's insane.
But that you got to give him a little credit. He
Oh,
knows-
I do.
Knows what he's doing.
He absolutely does.
But
But it's also very hard to transfer that knowledge to people. You just have to know. It's almost like an intuitive thing.
I think it is. But I think he surrounds himself. The people that they hire are those people who are like tapped in. And he's like, look, we used to sit around in meetings, and you'd have to try something, and then you go back and you look at it, and you do all the analysis and guess if it worked or not. He's like, social media has made it like instantaneous. Like you put something out and you know whether it works right away.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
yeah.
Cool. All right. V's Friends.
Are you checked out, Meg?
It's time. It's been chatting for too long.
We reached the event horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Are you around this Sunday?
Maybe. No, I think I was going to be, but I think I'm going to go back to Pennsylvania again
All right.
because I haven't really seen my family in a while.
Don't come back without a dog.
Oh
all
yeah,
I'm gonna
no, my
say.
kids are all about
Bring
getting this
dog.
dog.
Dude, you can't let them see that dog.
It's over, dude.
They've seen it?
Rye is like,
Has he touched it?
oh yeah.
Oh, it's
and,
over.
Oh, it's
and-
over.
and the
Dude,
fact
you're
that I
coming home with
opened the
that.
door as a possibility, it's now.
It's over.
It's endless.
Do you know
It's-
what broke Megan?
What?
Henry, when he was a little guy, he was so, like, you know Henry, he's out there.
Mm-hmm.
The dog, we would go to the walk in Patterson Park, and he would walk over to the dog owner, and he'd be like, "Can I pet your dog?"
Oh,
And then he would get like all in their faces and be rubbing. And Megan broke down. She's like, "Well, maybe a dog." Would.
Well, then the pandemic, and I was like, all right, we'll be here for a while. I'll get a dog.
And that's how Ralphie came to be.
Well, that's what my youngest son. He was like, I asked him like, why would you want a dog? He's like, well, like if Rye's, like we say, like doing something else, and I'm watching like a show on TV, and there's no one to sit beside me. I just want somebody to. I just want someone to cuddle with. I was like, dang.
I have to admit, when Meg's out of town for this move her mind stuff, Ralphie and I get pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get some on the couch and we sit
Yeah.
together and we watch movies.
So, last thing. So with dogs and stuff, I've always we had dogs growing up and everything, and I never had any problems with them getting on the couch or whatever or on the bed. But I guess that's a real no for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, I'm like, if you're part of the family, you're part of the family. I'm like,
But dogs are filthy and
Yeah,
gross.
So are people.
We bathe Ralphie on the regular.
okay,
And we, you have a vacuum.
yeah.
I will tell you, I wish he didn't sleep in our bed, but
we had a hard rule.
I don't
of
think I
not in
would
the
do
bed.
that. I couldn't do that.
And then he got pneumonia as a puppy, and it was over.
oh really?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like you can't break it.
Yeah. I don't think that's something I don't think I could do. Like I've never
Kept him out or let him
I
in?
never let our kids in our bed. I'm not letting a dog in.
But you have to stand by that, and you cannot
Every
fold.
day.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens.
Even if your dog gets pneumonia, don't let him in
All
the
right.
bed.
Noted.
Let him shiver in a corner.
Noted.
Oh God.
Listen to the crying in the crate.
That's what I do. That's what I did with my kids.
So you're good. Yours fine.
I never did that.
No, but I mean, look, I'm particular. You know me. I don't like. I border on being a little obsessively, clean about stuff, and our car is covered in Ralphie hair.
My kids bring it up all the time.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
They're like, our car is gonna be covered in hair or something. I was like,
Yeah, it is.
I guess.
I could get the gate to keep them all the way in the back, but it's still. And the thing is, I love this dog so much that, I don't care.
Actually, I have one of those covers for the seats already because I use it for the kids.
Okay.
Like it's for pets. And because basically kids are pets as 2-year-olds. But then the Outback also has like the rear area, which has like a rubber mat. So it's kind of nice. Like
Yeah.
in that situation, it's better than not having it.
Yeah, I did. I told you I tried to see. I went to the card and they recommended that I get the hair removed. I was like, "Well, what would that cost?" And they're like, $150. And I'm like, "Yeah, just wait till the dog's gone."
Yeah, if it was for like my nose or ear hairs, that might be different.
I don't know. Maybe I got to go look at YouTube and see how to get dog hair out of a car. But
I think if you just use a lighter and light one piece, it all goes up in flames.
just poof.
Goodbye, car.
Well, I
Including
was
the
running.
car.
I was running the other day, and a guy had like a husky, and it was a windy day, and he was pulling the hair out of the husky, and it looked like, you ever seen those trees that drop the puffy seeds or whatever? The sky was filled with, and I was like, "What is that?" I look over, and the guy's just pulling hair off the dog.
Well, because
Gross.
it's getting warm out, so it's probably shedding.
Right.
I saw that. Actually, saw that too over with a husky.
Was it at the corner?
This is over in Locust Point.
okay.
Yeah,
This
but
was at the corner of
it was crazy.
Conkling and Dillon.
Yeah,
And there was hair still floating in the breeze all the way down to Eaton Street.
that's insane.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, thank you.
All right. Well,
No.
we heard.
We've talked about everything under the sun on this one.
Yeah, that's been quite enough.
I did have some people mention something DMs, but I'll hit you up about
Okay,
that later.
yeah, this is over.
Yeah.
Dang, you better remember that for next time. Is it not podcast?
I don't know if we want to talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right.
A little teaser for you people. Hey, so sign up for Grit Memorial Day. That's Monday. Meg,
Yep.
were you going to say that?
No.
Okay. And then come to the Global Running Day if you're in Baltimore. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Details on that. We'll post all this stuff on the Believe in the Run Graham feed and all that stuff. But yeah.
All right.
Hi, Ma.
Hi, Robin.
Got my laces tied, my trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna talk fun, it's the place to be. Yeah, it's the drop, D-R-O-P.